I have a little advice to my followers who are also on the autism spectrum, or even if you just have ADHD or something like that. I know I say just ADHD, like it's diet autism. It's not. It's a whole thing that can debilitate you. So, I've been in and out of various therapies since I was quite young. And one thing I've noticed is if your therapist does not believe your diagnosis, and I'm talking to people who are diagnosed, because if you're not diagnosed, I mean, I can't help you here, but if they don't believe your diagnosis, you're going to get bad therapy, because the way someone's brain works with autism and some of the issues with perception from other people, as well as the way we perceive other people, will not be understood properly by the therapist. That's especially prominent with women who get diagnosed with borderline personality disorder as opposed to autism, because the fixations can be misunderstood. Now, this doesn't really happen to me, as where I get fixated on individuals, but some autistic women do get fixated on individuals, and that looks like a crush or envy or something else to a therapist who does not believe your diagnosis. Now, when it comes to therapists in general, people talk about them like they are gods who will and can fix you. I have met many, many people in therapy, and very few of them have gotten better. I was in school for psychology, and a lot of the stuff that they teach you in there is it's just plain inaccurate. They still teach Freud like he's just the tops, dude. Like, they still teach Freud like he's absolutely, and some of the studies that they teach, they're not entirely accurate and honest about the way the studies were done. That type of thing. You can end up with teachers who have a lot of bias against or toward certain races in regards to people ending their own existence. There's a lot of weird, it depends on your professors. And so a lot of people get professors that are bad, and then you end up with a bad therapist. So, but anyway, if you don't have a therapist that actually believes your diagnosis, even if you're trying to get help with something that's not related to your diagnosis, like grief or maybe a food-related issue, or, I don't know, anger, whatever issues people go for. Because I'm not sure why everyone's in therapy. I guess everyone's lonely. Sorry. You need to be sure you have a therapist that believes you. I mean, they should believe your documentation anyway, and like what's in your chart anyway, because that's where you get into the thing of medical professionals, including mental health professionals, thinking they are indeed godlike. I've run into it a lot with, I thought I saw a deer, stomach stuff when I was getting my gastroparesis diagnosis. So I have a paralyzed stomach, and one guy in the ER before I got diagnosed thought that he had found some rare disorder that's associated with something that I don't even do. He thought he was Dr. House. He was young and way too full of confidence, basically. Plus, it was during COVID and everyone was crazy. So, yeah, you could end up with therapists who don't believe you. Currently, I have one who does. It's great. That's why I can compare it to the ones who didn't. Because if you end up trying to talk about social issues, for example, and that's almost always going to come up in some form or fashion, and they do not believe your diagnosis, or they are attributing it to a diagnosis you don't have, which is usually what happens, you're going to get bad therapy. So, real simple. I know it's not exactly easy to kind of shop around for a therapist to believe you. I'm just letting you know, if you're in therapy and you're getting lots of bad advice, or you feel like your therapist thinks you're a bad person and they don't believe your diagnosis, that's probably why. So, anyway, do what you will with that. I hope everyone has a great day.